And the subject's going to be Bong Sau. Bong Sau is a beautiful, beautiful block in Wing Chun, but it could arguably be the most challenging one to execute correctly. So we're going to start from the beginning. And the beginning is from Silam Tao. Alright, so we're going to go over the motion of how you want to develop Bong Sau from Silam Tao. We'll go through a single stick, a little double stick, and then some closing the gap type stuff too. All executing Bong Sau. They're all leading up, but it all starts with understanding how you do Bong Sau from Silam Tao. So let's do Bong Sau. It's starting from here. Yeah, you can go towards the camera, maybe angle off just a little bit. Yeah. So the main thing you do Bong Sau is understanding where the arm is going to cross the center line, keeping the shoulders square, and how the elbow is going to be moving forward towards that center line, which will ultimately cross it, all while having the support. That body support comes with a lot of practice. But the first thing is to understand how to move the arm, understanding the coordination just within the arm itself, and then ultimately taking that coordination and having it be supported by the body. So you have that full arm, body, and ultimately legs coordination. But let's start with just the arm. So you notice when Ed shoots out of the Bong Sau, he's going forward towards the target, that apex of the triangle here. Now you notice here with his elbow, and I'll do it one time actually with the right elbow. Good. You notice here, the elbow is not at all coming up this way. The elbow is always drilling, going forward towards that target. At no point do you want to go up with that, because when that elbow is going up, you're going to have minimal body support behind it. Ultimately, like I said, it's always going to have the body behind the arm supporting it, just like you're going to be pushing any object. When you push an object with the body supporting the arms going forward, not with the arms going up this way, trying to push that object going forward. Wing Chun is not meant to work that way with the elbow going up, because everything we do, you want to learn to use the whole body. So when you're going from Silam Tao, when you're going forward, that's what you're learning to do. You're learning to execute the elbow going forward towards the target. The elbow should never just pop up this way right here. Yeah, it shouldn't just swing up, down, when you're going when you're practicing Silam Tao. So like anything, you've got to practice it without contact. Then you can use what we call dead energy, which would be using like the mukjang, and then ultimately versus live energy. And that's how you're always going to be adjusting yourself. But if you can't do it without anybody touching you, then it's going to be hell to learn if you're just doing it. I think you're just going to learn on the fly and just do chi sao your whole time. You're not going to learn it that way, because you have to execute the motion mechanically correct first. And that's where it all starts in Silam Tao. So now, when we do a single stick, and we go from here, and I'm going forward, and just the basic single stick drill of, actually we'll start with the rolling motion. You notice from here, you don't want the elbow just to pop up and then pop down. Pop up, pop down. That's the wrong way to do it. When I'm going from here, and I'm in my Tanza, I'm going to transition to the Bong Sau motion. I'm going forward, circling to the target, and then my body is ultimately always behind it. And then from here, dropping the motion down to Tanza. And then from here, I go circling forward towards the target, but I'm not just swinging my elbow up. Because if I do that, again, I'm not learning to have my body ultimately behind that motion. So when I'm from here, and if he puts in a little power behind it, and if I do it the wrong way, you'll see the reaction of my body. I pop up, yeah, it'll kick back into my body right away, and I won't be able to support that at all. But when I'm here, and I go forward with it, and he puts a little power in it, yeah, then I can meet the force, because now my body is pushing behind it correctly. But again, you've got to execute it from Silam Tao, then you can start to do it at higher levels, which is ultimately why you have to learn the drill, single stick. So from here, now when you progress to just do the basic palm strike from here, if I do the palm strike, he juts down. Now from here, you also want to learn the idea of basically going with it. But that basic going with it is very small. So when I go from here, and he's going to do the punch, the goal with it is right here. That's it, just that little bit. From here to here, I'm dropping the elbow, and then I'm able to circle forward from that. I don't want to go from here, palm strike, and he comes in the punch, and then pop my elbow up here. You can see even that little force that he gave me there, it kicked back into my body incorrectly, because my elbow came straight up. It didn't properly circle, which ultimately didn't lead to proper body support behind it. So from here, here's a little tip you can do when you're practicing the single stick drill. I palm strike. When he starts to punch, I drop the elbow just enough where my index finger just gently pointing towards his forehead. At that point, you've got a good angle into your arm. We call it a V-shaped angle. And then from here, that's when you want to start to circle the motion over to do the Bong Sau. And then drop, and ultimately repeat. I go forward with that. So you've got to take it from doing it from Silam Tao, understanding that, to understanding within a single stick, and just do the basic rolling motion within the double stick. So when we're here, and we're rolling, again, my Bong Sau comes up, circle. His Bong Sau comes up, circle, circle. So even when I do just a single stick attack, just the palm strike within here, I'm going to palm strike from here, he's coming up, now I circle over, and I balance it out with my other arm, the Bong Sau arm. Now I've got square shoulders supporting both arms. Now I can do it within the two-hand motion. But you've got to understand what you're doing from the single stick motion first. And even before the single stick motion, you've got to understand what you're doing from Silam Tao. And now you can do it after you've done it successfully within the double stick motion, and you can do it from basic closing the gap drill. So if I'm here and he's going to come in Bong Sau, notice here I don't want to just pop up with that. Again, if he comes in Bong Sau, I circle forward. Yeah, then I can apply my Bong Sau correctly and ultimately lap chop off that. But if you can't do it within the double stick, can't do it within the single stick, can't do it within the Silam Tao, well, then you've got to go back and think about what you're doing. And it actually analyzes how you're developing this and ultimately want to apply it. So, all right, hope that helps.